Smartmi has just released a brand new HomeKit enabled air purifier, which is the perfect time for someone like me who suffers from seasonal allergies. The E1 has a slim and modern design as opposed to other tower-like models out there. It includes a stand for placing on surfaces like a desk or the floor. Though to truly make this wall mounting worthy, Smartmi makes replacement filters with various art designs. Of course, like with most Smartmi products, this works in Apple Home, so you can control it with the HomePod or include it in your scenes and automations. I definitely have some thoughts on this, so before you rush out and pick this up for yourself, there are some things that you should know. Smartmi is no stranger when it comes to air purifiers. This is their P2 model that I've been using for over a year and it's become a favorite of mine. Not only does it look nice and work well, but it's battery operated, which means it's portable and I can move it throughout the house as needed. Something I do often. The E1 represents Smartmi's lowest price point of their air purifiers at just $220. Obviously, this isn't entry level at this price point. There's plenty of air purifiers that support HomeKit for less than this price. To keep the cost down, there are features that are missing. First of all, there's no battery. This is also considerably smaller than Smartmi's other air purifiers. The Model 2, their largest model, is able to clean spaces up to 484 square feet, the P2 up to 310 square feet, and the E1 194 square feet, so this is intended for smaller spaces. Another omission is there's no air quality sensor, unlike other Smartmi air purifiers that can measure particulate matter like PM 2.5 and PM 10, as well as VOCs in some cases. This does not have that, which means there's no automatic setting. So on automatic, the air purifier would be able to adjust the fan speed based on the air quality. It's a handy feature, but personally speaking, my air quality tends to stay the same. And when the air quality does go down, usually it's pretty obvious, like if you're doing some cooking or cleaning, and it's easy to adjust in those cases. It's definitely a nice feature to have, but not critical for me personally. What you end up with is a smaller profile, design first air purifier at a lower cost. In the box, you get a wire stand. There's a power cord that's hardwired to the E1 air purifier. There's also some screws for mounting and some drywall anchors. So here's Smartmi's E1 air purifier. As you can see, I've got it sitting on a stand. Not sure exactly where I'm going to put it. And then this is removable, and you can see there's holes in the back here, so you can hang this on a wall. It's got these removable filters as well. So this is the one that Smartmi sent me to test out. Probably not the one I would have chosen. There's others that you can choose from. This, I might have to wait for Halloween to put up. Let's plug it in. Right away, I found my device. I'm gonna go ahead and add that. There's the Purifier E1, enter my Wi-Fi information. I'm not really close to my router right now, but I'm close enough, I think I should be okay. And there we go, device connected. And easy. So gear 1, and at low, I can barely hear it. Gear 2 is medium. So a little bit louder, but it's more just some white noise in the background. It's not too bad. Definitely a little bit louder at gear 3, but great for those times where you just want a little bit of extra control to, purify your space. Okay, so now it's asking for my HomeKit code. If you can hear me, my allergies are crazy right now, so this is just perfect timing. This time of year, June, is the worst for me. So here, while we're waiting for that to connect, let's take a look at this. There we go, easy peasy. But yeah, I really need this right now. Oh, there we go. There we go. Added to TBL Home. Since one of the key features of the E1 is being able to mount this on a wall, this is something I did right away. I decided to put this in my great room. Even though this is intended for smaller spaces, I thought any air purification in this part of the home is probably a good idea, and I thought the classy design of the E1 would fit this space nicely. I created a template for drilling the holes by placing some masking tape across the E1 and then marking the holes with marker. Pretty easy to do, though an included template would have been a nice addition. This can also be mounted vertically or horizontally. Then I placed the tape on the wall, ensured it was level, and drilled holes for the drywall plugs. I hammered in the plugs, secured the screws, and hung the E1. I thought this was gonna look nice here, but it really didn't turn out as expected. There's a few issues. First of all, the power cord's not that long. Even though there's an outlet right behind this cabinet, I still needed an extension cord just to make it fit. And the other thing is just, it's a rigid cord. It's hard to hide. You could get some wire clips that just adhere to the wall and it might tighten things up a bit. If you want to mount this on the wall, then I suggest having something in front of the cord, like if you had a tall shelf where you can't really see much of the exposed cord. While this may be considered low profile for an air purifier, it's certainly not a picture frame. It does stick out a fair bit and it's quite noticeable. Also, I'm not sure why Smartmi decided to put a bright orange warranty sticker on the side of the device. I've tried to remove this and it's not coming off easily. I can probably get this off if I use rubbing alcohol or some Goo Gone, but it's certainly not easy peel. Aside from that though, it's secure and it's been nice having something in this part of the house to clean the air. It's quiet at 43 decibels at max speed, and I can control the speed using Siri. Turn the Smartmi E1 to high speed.
Okay, I set the Smartmi E1 to 25%.
Just like magic. If you're not an Apple Home user, this also works with Google and Alexa. This does not work with Matter though. There's also physical controls along the top for controlling the power and fan speed. I don't personally love the orange, but I can get past it. So unfortunately, I've got a couple plugs that I'm gonna have to patch now, but it was a good learning opportunity, and I still think mounting on the wall can be a good option. Just be mindful of the cord and how far it sticks out from the wall. The nice thing is it looks great on a stand. It's also lightweight, so it's easy to unplug it and just move it throughout the house. So even though it doesn't have a battery like the P2, it's still pretty mobile. Smartmi says their filter helps to eliminate pollen, pet dander, dust mites, smoke, and a multitude of other airborne pollutants. So it's great for people that have pets or seasonal allergies, or just people that want cleaner, better smelling air. I have a dog and I suffer from seasonal allergies, so having an air purifier is important to me. Now let's talk about some easy automations that you can do with the E1. I spend a lot of time in my home office / studio, so it's great to have clean air in here. I use two time-based automations with the E1. One that turns the air purifier on to high about an hour before I start working, and then another one when I start working that turns this down to low. This way when I start, it's been running for an hour and it's cleaned out all the air from overnight, so I know it's nice and clean. And then it'll still stay on, keeping that air fresh, but at a lower, quieter speed. Then at the end of the day, when I'm done working, I have it turn off. But since I don't finish working at a consistent time every day, I have this turn off when my light switch turns off. This is a Lutron Caseta light switch, so when the switch turns off, so does this. Occasionally I'll finish working, turn the light switch off, the E1 turns off, but then I want to come back downstairs and do a couple more hours of work. In those cases, when I turn the light switch on, this turns back on to low speed. Lastly, I'm using air quality sensor automation so that when the air quality goes to poor, then the E1 will turn on to high to clean up that air. For this, I'm using eVroom for TVOC, and I'm using Qingping for PM 2.5 and PM 10. Similar automations work great in a bedroom as well. Have this turned to high speed a little bit before you're ready for bed, and then when it's time to go to sleep, have this turned to low speed. I recommend using a HomeKit button like a flick button. So when it's time to go to sleep, this will turn to low speed, which is so quiet you're not even gonna hear it, and those LED lights can be turned off in the Smartmi Link app. When it comes to performance and measuring claims like removing 98% of E. coli particles within 1 hour, it's hard to test, so I just have to take their word for it. Depending on use, you should be able to get several months out of your air filter before needing to replace it. You can see the filter life in both the Smartmi and the Home app, though this is an ongoing cost that you need to factor in. Oddly, right now, you can only buy a 3-pack on the Smartmi website, and it's just the designs. You can't even get that standard gray one. And I've asked Smartmi about this. They said individual filters, including that gray one, are coming soon to the Smartmi website, Amazon, and Best Buy. So you can watch out for their social channels for updates on that, as well as sign up for their newsletter. When it comes to smart home products, one of the most important things to me is simply reliability. Does it work, and does it work every time? Luckily, I've had no issues there. It's always available and responsive in both the Apple Home and the Smartmi Link app. Overall, I like the design. I like how quiet it is. And the lower price point, well, that's nice too. So while there are opportunities, I think this is a good option for people, especially with smaller spaces. I'll include a link in the description if you want to learn more. I'll also include links to the videos that I did on the Smartmi P2, that's the one with the battery, as well as their rainforest humidifier. This is a great option for the winter months. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, it always helps me if you give the video a thumbs up. That's it for this week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.